Well, I think we finally made it on here. I think how long it's been, and all the times that Sins keep telling me I need to get on here and do this. Well, we were planning on it today, so let's enjoy this as we can. I'll give it a couple seconds to see if anybody wants to pop on. But today, what I wanted to touch on was why some of us see paranormal, and I had some a great response with that from another group, and I'm going to pull that up right now because the response was, I think, one of my favorites. It really, really was. So let me just pull that up here real quick. I should have had it pulled up. I understand, and I agree. My goodness, there's so many. There's a lot of comments. I also want to say, as we're getting going, it's truly remarkable to see that we have over 21,000 followers. It's truly remarkable, and thank you everybody. And I got to thank Sin as well for getting out there. She's been keeping this going and keeping the posts going, so we can keep you interested, keep what's going on while we're filming and doing everything else. So I want to give a big thanks to her as well for all the hard work she's done. So let's see. When I originally, I like to jump on when I can. I know I'm a little busy here and there, and I jumped on with why do some people see ghosts? And literally, my favorite one was from Indian Grounds Paranormal Research. Okay, and they had said having connections with the spirit world comes natural when you accept their presence and respect what they are giving you. I I loved it. I really did. That was one of the best responses I have ever heard. And where's the hot chick? I'm sorry. Sin let me do this today. She's been trying to talk me into it, and she actually wants to do one where the both of us are going, and so we'll do that with it. Texas, how you doing? Anyway, so what we're trying to do is, after I read that from them, and I was trying to realize where a lot of us do understand where we can still see it, and their answer was correct. And also, I think that a lot of us didn't lose that part of our childhood. I think when you're really little, you still have that open window, and a lot of us didn't lose it. And there's also that natural ability, as well as some of us who have been clinically dead and have seen the other side before being brought back. All those things, really, paranormal, like I said, theory is great. And I just really, from my own experience, being able to see it at the beginning was quite unnerving. I remember being a kid and very scared of it. I remember, the traditional child throwing the blanket over your head, and everything was safe. Even though I could hear talking, I could hear walking around, and then once in a while, when I peeked my eyes out, I could see something. And to any kid, that's really a horrible thing, because you don't understand, you don't know what's going on. And I really, to explain it a little better, if your child is having these things and you are understanding, please help them understand. I didn't have that help. I actually did not realize till I was older. I thought my abilities came from my mother. They actually came from my father, who was very quiet about this. Then there was times where I've seen the other side, and it's given me a lot stronger abilities and stuff like that. But I've also worked to understand them, and I've had help from some of the greatest minds and some of the greatest paranormal investigators in the world as growing through this. I really enjoy doing what I do, and I actually took something that bothered me as a kid and expand on it as an adult. And everybody has a different reason or a way or why they can see paranormal. And there are some in the paranormal groups, in the paranormal world that we do, that don't see anything, and they're relying on pure technology, which is fine too. It's not as great as it sounds. It really isn't, especially when you're laying in your bed at night and something screams at you and wakes you out of a dead sleep. It's really not as fun as all that. So I'm going to look what we got going on over here. I've got Michigan watching. I love it. Thank you very much, Bob. There's a ghost in my workplace. I can feel someone watching me, and I saw a black mass. You know, if you want to message me, I can get a little bit more into that. So, Miss Hartman, always a love right there. Give you a wink. There you go. Love you. So message me on that. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm actually helping somebody too that I might search out some of you guys' help. Otis has had a problem that is a little bit beyond what I've been doing and some of the stuff. This is totally something new. So I'm going to be getting with some of you paranormal groups and see what your opinion are to try and help me with this too. I just want to throw that out there. Oh, what's that? Wenatchee. Okay, Wenatchee. I hope I pronounced it right. So everybody out there. Oh, speaking of which, and we'll get back onto that. I know I jump around a lot, but like I told Sin and them, it's my time. I can do what I want. So if anybody's interested and would like a copy of the one of the last copies I'm giving out of Forevermore Memoirs of the Grim Reaper, first edition, autographed as well, please comment in the section Forevermore. I'll put the name down and I will draw at the end of this live broadcast. So just put that out there. And to say that it's actually going away from the original publisher for my own reasons. And we will be going with the new publisher here soon. So the second edition will come out as well as the sequel to this. So that's up to you. If you'd like to get in the drawing for it, all you have to do is put in the comments Forevermore. And I'll put your name down. We'll do this at the end. So, the other one I was touching on was death. Some people have been to the other side and have been brought back. And I actually believe that reopens a window or even or open the door, however you want to say it, and creates it a little bit stronger for some or reopens it for others. So I want to know, how do you think you got your ability? I can actually describe several ways with me, but with the death one, it really does intrigue me a lot because personally, I don't know if I was meant to die or if I was meant to stay, but I'm still here, so who cares? I don't know where total my abilities come. I believe I get it through my family. All of us have a little bit with us. And we have our spirituality that is just fantastic. So, but why do we have these abilities? Why, really why? And I believe that there are some of us out there who are supposed to understand what's going on when it comes to paranormal, understand the spiritual, the spirit world, the process, to learn, to grow, to expand on it. Just like any other people, there are people that were meant to be priests. There were people that were meant to be nuns. There are people that are meant to be psychics and to help people. And maybe being in the paranormal, even if you can't even see them, maybe this is helpful to people as well. I can always hope. I'm going to write down some of these names that are getting in the... Okay, I got somebody writing down names for me into the Forevermore. I don't have to do that now, so... Okay, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying that too. So I actually looked down a little deeper. My older sister, who you'll see in the comments, Tammy Hartman. I've been able to talk with her throughout the years, especially when it comes to this, and she has quite an understanding. So it's been my outlet when I need to do, when I don't understand, and she might not understand. But there has been times where even her children have exhibited the sight, and that's where it led me to do the research throughout the time to understand why kids are so open to it. And I actually believe that their minds have not been tainted enough and have not been closed off enough to close that window. And I think as we grow and you're being yelled at that you don't actually see these things. You're just crazy. There's nothing under your bed. Well, there might not be anything under the bed, but you know, you might want to check anyway. But I do believe children have that openness, and I believe that if they're allowed to keep it open, that they can continue on with it and see through. And some of them might choose to keep that window closed. I don't, you know, it's up to you. As that goes, I really, really do enjoy all the people I've had a chance to talk to about, especially the ones that can see it. I have a young lady that works with me. Her name is Cindy, who has done many investigations with me, and she's also clairvoyant. And talking with her about some of the abilities she has, and her entire family can see this. And I started to believe it's not only just being a child, but I believe that it's not only taught but ingrained or hereditary at times. And there's a lot of people that'll be out there saying, "Oh no, it's all garbage, it's all crap. You're not seeing anything. You're crazy." Well, oh, I'm sorry. And Sin is another one. There's Cindy and Sin. I thought, yeah, Cindy is the hot one. Cindy, the other one, she's gone out with me, and she has her separate clairvoyance with it. And I know she's going to talk a little bit about that. So I think, Sin, if you're watching this, I think David, right there, I think you got a huge fan. You might want to say hi to him there. There's a paranormal team out in Fargo. They were at Magicon. Okay, I'll have to check into that. Let's see. I believe last children and animals can see, then unseen. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Ah, there's Sin. Not me, it's psychic we work with. And I explained that. So, but everybody has their abilities. So, what's that? Ethan takes his brother. So I think he meant talk. Ethan talks to his brother till Sienna was born, and that's true. I remember my older sister telling me many stories of this, and it always intrigued me, especially watching. I even her oldest daughter, when she was a child. Well, okay, when they're still children to me. Okay, so when she was a toddler, and she would talk to whomever. And it was quite a sight, because it was like she was talking to a real person. So, and even if you can't see it, who knows what might be there. So, Tammy, thank you for that. And Tammy Hartman is going to give me one of the best pictures you'd see in a long time. I'll be posting that as soon as I can remind her to get that for me. So. So with that, I mean, I've worked with some great people. Like I said, Sin, who you guys have seen on most of the time for the lives. She had, when we talk back and forth about some of the abilities and things like that, especially with some of the new cases that are coming up. Some of the longer distance cases, like Otis's, who's out in Florida. Yeah, it may seem strange when you're able to connect that energy, but that's the one he's working on right now is a strong one. So if there's any groups out there in Florida, let me know. I might need your help on this one, because it's kind of hard. I'm all the way here in Utah, and so getting all the way over to Florida is really, really a pain in the butt. But but I will not refuse to help someone if I can. So if you're one of the Florida paranormal groups, please take the time, message me, and I'll go back and forth some information. We'll work on this together. All right. Let's see what we got going on now. Where are you located at? I am in Utah. I am technically in Enoch, which is north of Cedar City, Utah. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. But this is a much prettier area. They go down towards the Lead St. George area. It's a lot warmer. It's a world of difference. Let's see. I have a picture I'd like you to look at as well. Okay. You can message me through here with the pictures. That does come directly to me, and as well as Sin, and we both end up looking at it. So I'll be happy to look at whatever. Let me just tell you, when you send me a picture, I'm going to ask you questions like, what time of year was this taken? What time of day was this taken? I'm trying to alleviate any of the possibilities like frost on the lens, or light in the background, things like that. So I'll ask you quite a few questions before I can go through the picture properly. So yes, Sin, it is podunk. So, with the natural abilities of being able to see paranormal, it can become quite disturbing. Um, some can turn it on and off. Weird enough as it was, I used to be able to turn it on and off, and then I quit smoking, and now I can't turn it off to save me. So, but quitting smoking is a good thing. Let's just go with that. Um, there are a lot of benefits to it, in my opinion, but there's a lot of drawbacks. It's kind of hard to sit in a building and all of a sudden you're seeing a couple things, and you want to talk to people, you want to show people, you want to tell people, and they think you're nuts. And that's okay. I like being nuts. Um, they Some of the more benefits to it is when you are doing a paranormal investigation, you can already get a good sense of what's in there. And there are times I've gone investigations where they've shown right to me, and I was able to catch some great evidence, things like that. Like some of the stuff you guys have seen of Grafton, they had Sarah has been out there a few times. I've seen her, and I've caught some great images of her. And but there have been times where I can feel what's something around, but for some reason it doesn't want to show itself. And no matter what, I'll take thousands of pictures and hundreds of hours of video, and most I'll get is maybe a quick line of light, and it's a little annoying, but it's not too horrible. But that's what we do. That's every paranormal group out there. I see, like I said, I got 21,000 of you guys on this page, and most of you are attached to some sort of group or interest in paranormal that go out and do this. So you understand, you're not going to catch something every time. And with that, I also want to say, not every old house is haunted. Not every cemetery is haunted, and there's reasons for that, and you guys know what that reason is. So, when you get a chance, chime in. Why do you believe you see what you see? For those of you who do see. I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot by any means, but I know I'm not the only one out there too. So with that, if there's any questions, we can do it. Let's see. Why can't ghost show itself in regular form? I've had it show in regular form. My personal view on that question is that a lot of it has to do with energies and the energies that it produces. I've seen personally full-bodied and figured apparitions where I can see the face and actually describe it. And lucky enough, I've been able to find pictures of that individual or something like that. But there's also like the black object that runs past you, or the ball of light. So I believe it depends on the energies of what's being produced. That's my personal belief on that. Let's see. Do we feel it is possible? I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so I've got to get closer. Do you feel it is possible for objects, even people, can be haunted? That isn't limited to just places. Yes, actually, I believe that there are people out there that have something attached to them. Like I said, I'm working on a case right now with one similar to that. Very dark, actually. And there are some that have, some of them have called it their guardian angel, because it's been a light, a blessing, a guidance. And then they got what I like to refer to as a leech. The apparition where they've gone somewhere and it's attached themselves to them and they have no idea how to get rid of it. It's caused problems. It's been malicious. It's just been terrible. But it is something. It's actually fairly easy to separate and rid them. There was old urban legends of going to this certain mental hospital in Athens, Georgia, where if you touch a certain spot, she'll follow you home. You end up killing yourself because she's haunted you so much. And I haven't found any deaths related to this, but it makes for a good story when you're trying to explain that there are some things that can leech on and latch onto you. As it goes for that, I believe people are haunted and they take it with them wherever they go. And that has been a big question since I think it was that first Paranormal Activity movie came out, in which I know a lot of you laughed at that with me on that one. So let's see what else we got. I went to Kellis Irish Pub in Seattle. Was an old mortuary. Caught an EVP of a little girl. I'll see if I can send it to EVP. Okay, I'll look forward to that. Heck yeah, I want to hear that. That would be great. Let's see. And energy is so hard to hold. Sorry, Bub. I'm helping. Hey, you know what, sis? You do what you got, man. Um, how do you get the ability to see them? You know, I don't know how it was. I remember getting in trouble as a kid because I actually remember one specific incident when we were living in Las Vegas, and I remember looking over into my closet and I saw something kneeling there, and I thought it was my father because it had the same stature, everything like that. But I was like, walked closer and it stood up. It was much taller than what my father would be, and it scared the heck out of me. And then it dissipated. I went to tell my parents about it. And of course, parents, you know, you're a little kid, and you're messing around, and you wake them up. So I don't know how you can get the ability. Really, everything's in theory. Like I said, either you're born with it and you kept it, you inherited it and you kept it, or unfortunately you've passed away but been brought back and it's opened up the door. So that really goes with the ways that you might be able to get it. But I don't recommend trying to die to try and get this because it's not proven at this point. Let's see. What are my views on shadow beings? So elaborate on that because I actually have four different realms of shadow beings. Um, there are the ones I call they're the Native American ones that we have around here, and they're also they've been called shadow beings, skinwalkers. There's also the ones I call it the dark ones. They are blacker than midnight, never been of this earth, and are just malicious. So if you could elaborate on that, I'll try to answer the best I can. Oh, cool. Arthur, all right. Let's see. I'm a paranormal team in Virginia. Is that Virginia Beach, Virginia? I hope. Who's Robert the Doll? Did I miss something? Oh well. um, so that's just one of the things that we're going to have with that. So as we're going through things, I want you to remember, and this is just strictly my opinion, when it comes to paranormal, as I was told by, as we read before, it's about respect. Um, you might come across your malicious, you might come across your angry, you might come across some of the most wonderful, almost angel-like paranormal you ever had. And to me, you know, no matter what you come across, respect does a whole lot for what you do. There are groups that go out there and vandalize. There are groups that have gone out there and destroyed tombstones. There are groups that have gone out there and who have caused more problems than you can imagine. Right around here, there was not many paranormal groups when I was doing it around here a lot. And then all of a sudden vandalism started coming up, and the first person they come to talk to was me because I was the most known. So it's all about respect. Respect the area, respect the death, and respect the paranormal. Let's see what we got. Doll haunted in Florida. Robert the Doll is a haunted doll in Florida. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one that keeps looking around, messes with the night guards. Robert the Doll. I believe that's the one that you guys are talking about. Warehouse. Okay, Shelley says was on a hunt in an abandoned warehouse. My niece and I, I'm sorry, lisp right there for no reason. My niece and I both saw one of the dark ones you mentioned. Moved very quickly. I can go with that one. The dark ones, the one that I had personally was quite. I'll give you the story. I told him it'd be 20 minutes, but you know I'm having fun. We're going to keep going. For a while, in this house that we're in right now, we had some problems going on. My wife has asked me that when things I see or do, just be quiet. She didn't want to know. It does kind of scare her a little bit, but she's getting a lot better. She goes on almost every one of my hunts. It started out with small things, you know, scratching on the wall, whispers, things like that, and it started to get worse to where in my spare room, if on the back here, I have a scythe, that I carry around. That's mine. And it used to hang above a shelf above the couch. And one day I came home and it was on the ground. It didn't touch the shelf, didn't touch the couch, which is impossible. And then we had problems with a lot more things that were going on. And then one day I come in and on the center of my bed was a knife that my wife had bought me. It was a hand carved bone knife that had two skeletons clutching each other. And it was in the center of my bed, which is actually normally in the same room as the scythe. And that started to bother me because now it's becoming dangerous. It's grabbing the sharp objects. And I had asked my wife, and she didn't know anything about the knife, anything like that. And it started getting worse to where one day, one morning, technically it would be, I woke up to this very black object above me, holding me down, and it felt as the breath was being taken away from me, and it took everything I had to sit up. I mean, literally a fight. I finally got myself up, and it backed up and went into the shadows. You could see it as clear as day in the shadows. It was just phenomenal. It was something I hadn't dealt with. And so another day my wife was going to be out, so I decided to do an own investigation in my own home, and I got recordings of it telling me to go kill myself. F. Travis, I don't want to swear on this. Several other things. I mean, it was just unnerving, so I had to get in Utahville. We don't have a whole lot of Catholic priests when it comes to things, so I had to use the LDS priesthood, which my father-in-law holds, and so he came over to do a blessing on the home and myself. And as he was doing this, my house raised 15 to 20 degrees within a matter of minutes as we were doing it. It took a lot to get rid of it. There was a lot more. There was a lot of smudging. There was a lot of salting. This thing was a constant fight. I remember waking up one night with it on my wife's side of the bed, and I had to tell it, you leave her alone. You come deal with me. So as it goes for the dark ones, my views on them is that they were something that was never human, personally. Let's see. He is what created the movie Chuck. And I've heard that rumor about Robert the Doll. It's one of those, I'd love to go see it, to be honest. I'd actually like to spend the night in there and just have a quick look of it. And a lot of people don't know that, like Annabelle, one of the more famous dolls that have just recently come out through Ed and Lorraine Warren, was actually a Raggedy Ann doll. So not as scary in the movies as that, and I don't think Mattel would have liked that on there. They wouldn't have sold many. Who is the person in your place? Do you know who it is? No, I didn't know who it was. I tried very hard. The voice was unrecognizable. In fact, it didn't even sound. It was hard to describe. It was not really man. If it was very deep and raspy. It was just bad. I'm not really sure who it was or what it was or where it came from and what I did to piss it off that much, but apparently I did. And in fact, the only way Steph found out anything was going on around the house is because we were sitting out here talking, and all of a sudden my dryer decides to open the door all the way up while it was going and then close all the way. I mean, it literally takes effort to open this thing up and close it. And she's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And then finally she got it out of me. But I've actually had encounters with other people that have seen the dark ones that where there tells of the little girl waking from her sleep saying ghost in Spanish, and the little girl didn't know any Spanish, and they saw this, and they had the same instances of having the breath drawn from them. To me, I can't begin to even tell you. I have some friends who are demon hunters. I don't know about demons or what's going on with that. But I actually, I sought them out to get some answers just in case, because, you work with each other. You might not believe in demons, but a lot of people don't believe in ghosts either. So, got to go with that too. Let's see. Check out Lucky Keys in Massachusetts. Mount Massachusetts. Where is that at? Okay, I'll write that down. We'll take a look at that. Okay, so what is your opinion on the shadow people? I mean, like I said, I've had a couple little runs. I actually have a belief that there are some spirits out there who you see the black object running in out of the corner of your eye, or you saw the shadow against the wall, And I actually happen to think those are spirits that just basically want to be left alone at that point. They're there, leave them alone. So that's just my opinion on that. And you might have your own, and you are welcome to have that. So while I'm doing that, Steph, should we draw those names? I like my haircut too, by the way. Thank you, sis. All right. So we have a few of them. And if I draw your name, do me a favor. Get on the message. Send us a message. I'll need your information, where to send it, and if there's a personalization you'd like on it, okay? All right. Brandon Sargent. I hope I said that right too. Let's have a look. Just have I ever been injured by a spirit? Yes, I have. I've had scratches on my chest. I've had a brick thrown at me. That was one of my favorites. I've had bruising along my arms and along my legs. I've had my hair pulled once. It didn't hurt because I really don't have much feeling on top of my head, numbskull that way. But yes, I have had injury. And they say that 1 out of every 12 paranormal investigations are dangerous. For me, I think it's been more like 1 out of every 30, I think it is now. I think that's the average, because somebody had asked me that question before. Is it possible for paranormal to get you? I believe so. I can say countless times where I've been grabbed and I actually have been thrown against the wall. That's a little unnerving when something can throw you against the wall that you can't even see. So, I mean, some wisp of air came through and just knocked you down. So, yes, I have been hurt. Any more questions? Unless I'm sitting here too long. Okay, we're going to wrap this up because it's been 30 minutes. I know all of us have to work in the morning. Well, most of us have to work in the morning. One day when we're all rich, we can hang out and party. It'll be great. So I want to thank everybody that's got on SIN. Again, thank you for everything you've done to keep this site running. Wait a minute. Listen, there are some pictures from the last investigation of the scratches that that SIN had got. That's right. And I think you got those on the trailhead of one of the trailheads in Mountain Meadow. I remember you telling me that. I want to thank Tammy Hartman as well for chiming in. Thanks for the support, sis. I really do appreciate it. All of you that have came on, thank you so much. And Brandon Sargent, if you wouldn't mind messaging me and getting me your information, I'll get this out to you ASAP, no problem. Okay? In fact, I'm going to put it right there in the book so I don't forget. And if I have to hunt you down, we'll hunt you down. That's no problem. What do ghosts look like? That's a wide question, actually. One of the most notorious pictures are orbs. True orbs are very different. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it, and you stay safe as well. Orbs themselves, there are true orbs, and then there's the dust orbs and everything a lot of people get, so be careful with that. There are full-bodied apparitions, there are shadows, there are faces. Basically, the ghost looks like what it wants to look like, in my opinion. There you go. So we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you all again for joining me today. We will do this again. Like I said, Sin wanted to do one where both of us on, so we'll figure it out. My schedule's a little hectic with trying to get the book over and with what I do for a living as well. So we'll get that figured out, and it'll be in the near future as well, and I'll jump on it live by myself some more. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to jump on. What's it? It's a big question? What is? Because I love you, it's a big question. Okay. What? Oh, it is. What ghosts look like. It's a really wide question. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody that's participated in this. We'll do a lot more, and if you have any questions, please message me or email us, and we'll get you handled up the best we can. And again, if there's anybody out there in Florida, any groups out there, please get a hold of me. I've got something for us, okay? So thank you very much for joining me. Stay safe and happy hunting.